So I want to give you a valuable lesson in life, and I want to do it in obviously a short period, but I want you to understand these volleyball girls here playing sand volleyball, they understand something that most of us adults in the business world and grown-up adult world don't really understand. And I want to make it very clear to you the most serious thing I could probably tell you about Wired Differently is that they understand, whether they know it or not out there, whether they're competing, they know that they can only rise to the level of their greatest desire, right? And so they desired to be great sand volleyball players. My daughter desired to be a great college collegiate softball player. And those desires, my daughter's also desired to be cum laude and top of her class. And those desires have come true for her. But the metaphor I want to give you about that is this. And I think a lot of us are afraid to desire things because we're afraid we might get them. And then if we get them, we're afraid that we can't sustain them. I remember flying in coach, and I'm going to leave you with this. I'm a Diamond member, and I'm proud of it. I got lots of miles with Delta. I'm a million miler, and I'm proud of my flight, history. But here's the deal. The planes are set up like this: main, coach, and comfort, and first class. And I remember always flying in coach, and then ruminating around main, right? And then finally got brave enough to get up there and comfort. Until one day an airline person said, "Would you like to take a seat, Mr. Sailor, that we have available up in first class for free?" I said, "What? For free?" I sat up in first class and I said, "Wow, is that what this is like? Is that what first class is like?" Now, I was put there for free, right? I was sat there by the grace of the airline company. But I want you to understand that once I sat in first class, I realized I never wanted to leave first class. And there's nothing wrong with that. Let me explain something to you. We're built to desire more in life. Our brains are wired, for survival, but our minds are wired for success. I never wanted to go back to coach. And my desire was to stay in first class. I wasn't afraid all of a sudden that I couldn't maintain the image. I started sitting in first class. I started paying the extra miles. I started counting my miles. I started working for the medallion statuses that would allow me to really be there and earn it, right? And it's a funny thing about success in life and imagery and how we propose ourselves with desires is that everything in my life, watch this, started to lift to first class. You see, when I was sitting in coach, I lived in coach. When I was sitting in main, I lived in main. But when I tasted first class, I stayed in first class, and everything around me started to put me in first class and pushing my companies and pushing my people around me. And I don't have any shame out of it. I'm still a humble coach sitting guy. I'm still a humble main cabin guy. I don't like it. I worked to get out of that. And I know that in this world right now, sometimes we get put in a negative light because we want more. And I want to tell you this right now. Wired Differently people, it's free to want more. It's free to have free will. It's free not to want to be in coach in everything in your life. And if you want to get out of coach, you have to start thinking first class. And the best way to start thinking first class, my friends, is to sit in first class. Off it. Have the meals, have the coffee, have the experience, and don't leave it. Desire it in your life, your marriage, your entrepreneurial endeavors, all those things. I know you can do it. It's okay to be in coach, but coach people, sometimes they're just comfortable in coach, and that's okay. But I want you to understand that first class, if that's where you want to be, go buy that ticket for your next flight and you sit there. Right? And you sit there and you understand that the rest of your life, you're going to be moving everything around you in first class. Anyways, that's a Wired Differently mind experience for you. And I'll watch you make that happen. Wired Differently. Hey, get on out there to first class, baby.